studio and video studio inside T-Shirt Kings photography. So if you want to have a photo shoot or anything like that, we're having a special 30-minute shoot. As many pictures as you take, we just email them all to you. You don't have to worry about prints. You get your pictures back before you leave. And so everything that you've always imagined that a photo shoot or that video production should be, we're bringing it to you. Every time I come in the press room, you're in the press room, working on our Stars Hottronic heat press, using all the vinyl, making all the picture tees. I like vinyl.
I'm about to just load these boxes up. I'm out your way.
Man, you gotta be a crazy little brother to get fired on your day off. What you get caught stealing boxes for?
Man, I didn't get caught stealing no boxes. He said he caught me though.
We get our rent paid.
Why don't you go in there and ask the girls real fast to see if they help us pay our rent?
That don't sound like a bad plan at all.
What's up, Pops? What's up, Smokey?
I'm trying to set up a meeting with the girls, man.
Okay.
Y'all wanna help me and Craig pay our rent?
Craig still owe me money from the last time he got me. He gotta learn a lesson. He shouldn't be stealing. Go ask him to tell that girl from last night to give him some money.
What they said? They said it's slow for real.
I'm about to just ask boss when we get our job that night.
Of course you can.
Yeah!
Nah.
Yeah. Y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet thing.
Man, I don't even know.
Like y'all won. He didn't even know he won.
Nah.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss magazine.
Name and my son's name is Du Jour.
Okay.
I created that back in '98. I actually thought I was Kenlo selling T-shirts. Like, man, I mimicked everything Kenlo did. I used to have writings on the back and everything. Like I said, man.
Legendary People Podcast. Yeah. We got another great one coming for you today. Yeah. We like to, start the show representing our sponsors.
Yeah.
We got all Agnes All Natural Grill.
Yeah.
For your lunch and your dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Then, or you can start with Shiekhs for breakfast.
Yeah.
They got basically the best breakfast going around right now from what I'm hearing. If any accidents, you want to contact Michael Wright and support the baby Amazon, which is shoparea.com. Yeah. All your product at your door in 4.
Yeah.
You want a little buzz, hit up Antoine Cunningham. We stay on deck with the Kiara Wine. Sure. Antoine Cunningham, hit him up. And if you want to lose weight, get with Kilo Lawson with the Fire Pit Trainers.
Yeah.
Our new sponsors coming. And also hit up Jay Jones for the Tony Terry show that's coming in 937. Hit them guys up. And Peanut, the rest of the show is up to you.
Word, man. Thank you, man. Bro, man, you know what, man? We may need you doing this more than Smed, man. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, now.
Hey, shout out to Smed, man. You know what I mean? Smed could be here today, you know what I'm saying? He been having some blood pressure issues, which maybe you can help him with that a little bit later on, man. But, you know what I mean? Make sure you got to check out Dad's resource. You guys look up tshirtking247.com. We got diamond deals on a go for your mouth right now. We actually have deals going on, which you saw in your own merch. Come through, man. Cop some merch, cop a shirt, man. Capitalist clothing, man. But we ain't here to talk about me, man. We're here to celebrate our legendary guests, man. You know what I mean? So, to me, I feel like this is sacred ground. You know what I mean? Podcasters having a podcast together. We get a chance to finally talk about our gripes. And I'm telling you right here, man. So, without further ado, we got my man, Daniel T. We call him Daniel Stevenson, man. It's good, bro.
Oh my God, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man.
When I was down, getting my mind right, I stepped away from social media, and this was back in October. You was reaching out, and I know we've been trying to put it together. So, hey, I appreciate you because I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
For sure, man. So, here on the Legendary People Podcast, we like to celebrate our legends to find out where they come from. So, without further ado, we talk about origins, right? Without further ado, where'd you grow up, man?
Man, I'm born and raised blood, sweat, and tears out of Westwood.
Westwood, baby. What's good? What's good?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
All I know is Westwood. I visited a lot of different hoods, but I'm Westwood all day.
So are you closer to the center or are you closer to Roosevelt? Because, like Westwood got two sides to it.
I'm dead on the next block of James H. McGee and Dandridge. And the address was actually 900 Westwood, so... my house sat on the corner, so I saw everything.
Word.
You know, I've known that house for 20 years before I actually moved out. But that's the only house I ever knew.
Word. So, like, what kind of things did you see, like, growing up in the neighborhood there?
I mean, you know how they say it takes a village to raise a child? I'm the true definition of that. So, on my block, I had the Joneses, the Pitts, the Perkins, the Lees, and the Evans. So, if I wasn't actually at my house, I had several houses that I was just hanging out at as a kid. And nowadays, you don't have that, you know, with that kind of community. But when I was coming up, it was based on family sticking together and everybody in that neighborhood looking out for each other.
Word. So, like, who were some of your early, like, instrumental first, like, familiar day ones? You know what I mean?
My day ones, well, it's kind of still hard to say my day ones because we still are day ones.
That's hard.
Family.
That's hard.
So I know you always ask pinpoint on your best friends, but I got several because they're family members. You see them in the videos because we were all family. But you got your Andre Clarks, your Marcus Perkins. Man, you know, we get the naming off names. I don't want to have
miss nobody.
Yeah, and be like, man, you didn't mention me. But yeah, I got.
Shout out to you, man.
Yeah.
Whoever thought that, shout out to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, shout out
you
to
know,
you. You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
You love bro enough that you offended by that. Then you know what I mean?
I mean, throughout this interview, you gonna hear me drop a whole lot of different names because, I mean, I'm molded into what Westwood made me. So, you know, it's not just one particular person that I just hung out with because I was everywhere.
So, I mean, I grew up in Westwood, so, like, we kind of have this temperament to where, like, we good no matter where we at. Like, I could be smack dab in New York and I'm good. What do you think kind of gives us a little bit more flavor, you want to say, compared to other hoods?
Because we groom totally different. You know, like, the way I was raised, I'm going to get some money, but I don't have to let everybody know I'm getting the money. I'm not a flashy type guy. I'm not an arrogant type guy. I treat everybody with respect. You know, I'm going to treat the janitor and speak to him no different from the CEO. And the way you carry yourself, you know, that Dayton flavor is everything. You can go to other cities, other states, and you gonna stand out.
Yes.
Because they gonna know from your conversation alone. I get that all the time. Man, you ain't from here. I know it. I represent Westwood.
Word.
I'm from Dayton, Ohio, though.
Word.
And a lot of times they Dayton, Dayton gets a lot of respect.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
A lot of respect.
So, like, what elementary school did you go to?
Wow, Peanut, you go deep.
Yes, sir.
I think.
You think?
No, I'm thinking. third. No, seriously. Look. At the time,
Yeah.
McNary must have been going through financial issues because at the time,
Am I Gardendale?
nah, I ended up at Kemp Elementary.
Kemp,
Everybody
yeah.
was on the east side. That's why I said McNary must have went through some financial issues.
Yeah.
Because that's around the corner from Westwood, and none of the kids went there.
Yeah, because I went to I went to McNary for a year or two, and then I had to go to Gardendale.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I said I had
Yeah.
to think, because I don't understand why I went to Kemp. That's far.
Yeah.
But then my 5th and 6th grade year, I was at McNary. So they must have got their finances together. But yeah, I'm McNary. Like I say, I'm Westwood.
So like, what kind of student were you?
Man, I was only focused when I needed to. I was one of them students that I would lose focus real quick. I was smart. I was real smart. But I didn't always stay focused. I was easily distracted. Like, it could have been somebody playing with pencils or something. I could get distracted. It could have been an outfit somebody had on. It got me distracted. And I would only narrow it down to get focused when I needed to.
Right.
Or when my dad or my mom had to come up to the school and say, hey, you need to get this together.
Right.
But I was one of those average students in school.
Right. So like, you kind of touched on home life. So you had mom and dad there. Do you have any siblings?
Oh man, I got 3 siblings. I'm the youngest.
Okay.
I'm the baby.
Right.
So I'm gonna need you to follow this
All right.
because my parents been married. It's almost 60 years. And
That's love.
Yeah,
That's love.
Almost 60 years. So I had the foundation from that. And with me being that last born child, my siblings was already old. They were already out the house. So when I was in school, my siblings already had kids my age.
Wow.
So I was the uncle, but I'm still in class with my nieces.
Yeah.
So, you know, growing up in the grade school era, I'm going to go get my uncle. And they didn't realize the uncle was in the next class.
I find that funny. Wait. I only find that funny because, like, my dad, you feel me? Shout out to my dad. He had a baby after I had my son, right?
Really?
Yeah, so I had that dynamic where, but it was reversed. So I always make fun of my son, Jay Color, which I took him to get his first tattoo today, by the way. But I used to make fun of him. I said, one day you got to go pick your uncle up from school. And he was like, he is so mad when I say that. Like,
I lived that.
Yeah.
I lived that. And as I got older, it got worse because the fighting days in grade school was over, but now it's just conversation. And one thing about my house growing up in Westwood, with me having older siblings, I already had that old spirit. And me having nieces my age, and I got beautiful women in my family. So imagine
it's always something going. It's always something.
It was always something going on in my house all
Right.
the time. And between my house and all the other houses that was on the street that I told you that I frequented, you know, I always had things to do.
Was that kind of like a byproduct of you kind of being like the only child? If you think about it, if everybody's like grown at the time you're living there, you kind of like the only child. So it kind of made you kind of bounce around and hang with like the neighborhood kids because like your parents are probably older. They don't have enough energy to run around, chase you, and throw the ball and stuff like that.
By the time my my parents had me, I would say they were a lot more not as strict like they was on my other siblings.
That's what it only happens. Yeah,
they were tired.
Yeah,
they was real tired. So man, I got away with murder. I did.
What kind of things did you get away with that nowadays as you being older, you be like, man, I would never let my kid do that?
Wow, we're going to speed it up. I mean, I went through that rebellion stage of wanting to smoke weed, trying to find my own way. You know, when Best Buy was first on Salem, when they had first came out, I was running with a couple of guys who were trying to get me on the wrong path of, you know, stealing CDs and DVDs. It was real quick money.
Well, wait. How funny does that sound today, knowing you stole a CD and a DVD, and now we don't even use it?
We don't even use it. Hey, we don't even use those. But back then,
it was hot. It was like.
Look, all you had to do was peel the sticker off, and I would stuff my jacket, and I would go to school the next day. And we would sell them.
Right.
Like I told you off camera, I always been a hustler.
Yeah,
like, my dad was like the furious, like the father of Boys in the Hood.
Authoritative.
Man, he was militant, pro-black. He did not play. My father was that type of person. When he talked, you shut the hell up. He was like that.
Right.
And once I got caught stealing them CDs.
Oh, you got caught?
I got caught.
Well, wait, you got walking through the day you getting caught there.
We talked about being greedy.
Yeah.
Man, I think I needed some gas money, and I hit the guys up like, man, let's go hit this lick. And I think I was just trying to get as many CDs as I can, but at the time...
Because gas was so high back then, wasn't it?
Nah, that's about maybe $1. Maybe $1.
I know.
Yeah,
that's
maybe,
an inflation joke.
Yeah, maybe $1. But, you know, I got greedy. And at the time, I think they had detectives in Best Buy because they was taking L's.
Yeah.
So they swooped me up, and they took me to the jail. And... my parents left me in there.
Word.
It was a learning experience. And I said, after this, I'll never do anything that's going to ever put me in jail. Because when you sitting there and you thinking about the stupidity of what you did, and I had to go see a judge at a minor age, and he looked at me and he was like, man, you come from good stock.
Yes.
Talking to your parents, I think you just fell into the wrong crowd of trying to fit in.
Word.
And that changed me to the point where I knew I was never going to jail again.
Word.
I'm a hustler, but some hustles ain't worth your freedom.
So, you know, just going in this magic time machine that me, Ease, and Smith are building, just in hindsight of you being so religious now, was there any religious basis in your background?
Yeah. See, I told you about my dad and my mom. She was full-blown Christian. I had to go to church all the time growing up. When I say all the time, we talking all the time. Wednesday nights, nights, Sunday mornings, and then they would have like prayer and Bible study at my mom's best friend's house.
Right.
And I always was in church. So trying to balance my father on how he was pro-black militant, and then my mom being a Christian, you got the best of both worlds. Because I never really saw my dad go to church, but my mom stayed at church. So that goes to the opposite attract sometimes, because they've been together almost 60 years.
Word.
And you know, I know they had some issues, but I never saw them.
Right. Word. Shout out to, man, black love, man. Word.
Seriously.
So, what are some of the things that you got into, like, in your earlier days that's not, like, you know what I'm saying, you willing and dealing? Like, what are some things, like, you found interesting in that kind of factor into the person you are today, such as, you know what I'm saying, you do fitness. So, did you find that type of stuff fun, entertaining during that time? Or anything that was kind of close?
Yeah. I mean, communication is everything. When I was coming up, the biggest thing was going to the Salem Mall.
Yeah.
When you go into the Salem Mall, you got your boys and your friends around you, and it was all about being honest. How many people can get the girl's number?
Yeah.
You know, ain't no lying. Like, man, did you get her number? You get her number? And that's how you learn communication skills. Because everybody not going to tell you yes. You're going to get dissed. Some people going to tell you no. But now people don't communicate, so you don't know what it feels like to have rejection.
Right. Ooh.
You know, so people, she didn't like me, and they go off and they kill themselves, but they ain't really been through nothing, because this era now, like we talked off camera, you can have an Uber come by and tell them don't talk to you. You don't really have to communicate at all anymore. You never really have to leave your home. You can have your groceries delivered. You can have everything delivered to you that you become non-social, where you just don't talk to people.
Especially when you got $40, you can get anything delivered.
Exactly, and it's like, you know, at the end of the day, that's not good, because you losing on how to talk to people.
Yeah.
So transitioning to how I am now, that really did help me with people skills of actually talking to people.
Right. So, what middle school did you go to?
Man, I'm a Mcfarland Tiger.
Mcfarland? Okay.
Yeah,
Word.
Everybody be talking bad like Mcfarland was so hood, but nah, Mcfarland was what it was. They be like, man, Mcfarland was dirty. Nothing about me has ever been dirty.
There we go. Talk spicy.
Man,
Talk
like,
spicy.
nah, what they call it, fishy or whatever, man, I've always been fly.
Yeah, John Williams and
Man,
all
of
them was there.
that.
Okay.
All of
I
that.
remember when we went for a wrestling match there, Fairport against Mcfarland.
Yeah.
After the wrestling match, we all fighting outside the school. John Williams, all them.
Y'all turned into WrestleMania.
We had to jump on the bus and get out there.
Yeah, classic days, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they knocked that down. But I'm a Mcfarland Tiger to the fullest.
What's some of your best memory and worst memory from Mcfarland?
Man, they used to call me Ron Hunter, Mike.
DJ Ron Hunter.
Ron Hunter.
Shout out to Ron Hunter.
Shout out to Ron Hunter.
Legendary handshake.
Like, man, I used to take some of his mixtapes and I would just record them. And I would take them to school and hustle. I told you, like, man, I've been hustling a long time. Man. And I would take some of his mixtapes that classmates used to call me. They actually thought I had all the equipment. I had nothing.
They thought you was Ron Hunter,
They thought I was Ron Hunter, man. They thought I was really Ron Hunter. And I used to make money off Ron Hunter.
That's hard.
Just dubbing all this stuff. Man, I recorded this last night. I ain't recording nothing.
I took the tissue paper, put it in both sides, man.
I did all of that.
Hit both them buttons and
going up to 14 karat gold, man, because that's where I used to buy them at. My parents used to take me up there to buy little tapes and stuff. But yeah, that was one of the best memories of Mcfarland days, of just trying to find yourself and your swagger.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said off camera, I've been hustling a long time.
Yeah.
I ain't really been the street grinder to the point where you hustling.
A hustler does not mean street. You
But
feel
yeah,
me?
you
If
got-
people try to make them synonymous, they are not. Hustler and street don't like. There are no correlation where they both meet, but that don't mean the same thing. You know what I mean? So
people can take that word hustler and just assume that you're doing the wrong thing.
Right.
But I've been a scatterbrain type person my whole life, just trying to find it
Right.
and figure out what you good at.
Right.
Some people figure it out early. Some people still trying to figure it out.
shout out to y'all, man.
Yeah, you
Shout out to
know,
y'all. Whoever did it.
still trying to figure it out.
So, like, what would be one of your worst takeaways from McFarland Day?
Worse?
That story right there. Yep. Nah, don't skip past that one right
No,
there. I can
okay.
tell. I can read eyes, man.
I remember.
Here we go.
I remember my mom came to see me play a basketball game,
Okay.
and I told you already if I really wasn't focused on something and my mind wasn't
Yeah.
all the way there, I would get frustrated. So I had my mom come and see me play basketball, and that was a big deal for me.
Absolutely.
I didn't get no playing time, so. So what happened?
Wait. So Taylor, she came to see you sit basketball, not play basketball. She can't watch you sit.
She came to see me play basketball, but I was on the bench. And the type of person that I am, I wasn't having it. I think the game was going on. I took the jersey off and threw it off.
Antonio Brown shit.
I did that and walked in the locker room. I think the 8th graders were still getting dressed. They like, damn, the game over. Nah. But it's over for me.
Yeah.
I'm gone. Like, I'm gone. And
my
to this day,
God,
my
man.
mom
shit.
told me that was a huge embarrassment for
Wow.
me to come see you play. And you did that. I was one of them kids, bro.
Oh shit.
Oh
Hey,
my
look,
God.
the guy that you guys are meeting today is nothing like how you would think, man. I'm telling you.
After you told me you ripping your jersey off,
Man,
like Antonio Brown and Walker.
look, when I saw that, I instantly thought, yep, I know what that feels like.
Oh my God, man.
Like, yep, I've been there.
Oh my God,
I've
man.
been there, man.
All right. So after you did that, I mean, like, did you still play basketball?
Hell no. I was done.
You was done, like,
I was just done.
That was your
like,
last
man,
game.
I told you. I done practiced all week. I done put the grudge in. I told you, you asked me that. Look, you asked me that. Like, man, when I'm focused,
Yeah.
I'm focused. But when I ain't focused,
Yeah.
man, I don't give a shit.
Oh my God. Okay.
Nah, it was a rap.
Right.
It was a rap.
So
He's still a
yeah,
kid.
I can't help it, bro. I cannot, bro. So
Come on, Peanut, get it together, dog.
you spoke of being a hustler. So, like, did you start working in middle school, or did you start? I mean, because, like, you know, so you had to hustle about yourself, but did you start working in middle school? Because you have a very storied past when it comes to notable people and who you work with.
Yeah, I've always had some type of job, but at the time I was still young.
What was your first job?
My first job was Kroger's
Okay.
on Gettysburg.
Word, the
Man,
legendary Kroger.
Man, we was jumping. I met Jody Coleman. Then we got history together.
Shout out to
Ricky
Jody
White,
Coleman.
Mark Perkins, Tyrone Berry. Like, man, that was legendary. How you call it?
Legendary.
Legendary. We had a lot of good times, but even when I was in grade school, I was drawing on people's clothes with the graffiti to get money. Then by the time I went to middle school, like I said, it was selling Ron Hunter mixtapes.
Word. He put down his resume too.
Yeah, look. I've always had a job somehow. And then when I got to about 15, 16, I was talking my way into Kroger's, and that was my first job. And I liked that. And once again, shit didn't go right at the job. I lost that job, my first job fighting in Kroger's.
Wait. What's the situation that caused you to have to throw hands at Kroger?
Man,
In Kroger's, respectfully.
Man, we told that story up too. I couldn't even tell you who the guy was, but
shout out to him, man.
I couldn't even tell you who he was. So if you see this interview, man, it's all love, bro.
Yeah.
But at the time, man, I had just came back from visiting my brother in Atlanta, and I heard just rumors in general, like, man, I don't like that guy. He think he this, he think that. He
worked there too.
He worked there too.
Okay, I thought you whoop a customer ass.
Nah, I wasn't no customer. Nah,
man, bag this up quicker.
Nah, I definitely wasn't that guy.
You about to get back quicker than that?
Nah, and you know, I tried to confront the guy at the time, like, hey, man, you know, do you have a problem with me or whatnot? And he said the wrong thing, and instantly, man, I swung, and man, the candy stand, I still got the bruise right here. Like I said, man, we tore the store up.
Man, you turned into a pants dispenser. You knocked candy out of man.
Look, you know how you check the checkout counter line where you know you got all the candy and all stuff. Yeah, we tore all that up.
Wow, man.
And I got fired.
So
yeah, I know. I'm on a path of destruction. Not having.
Before we go there, you do gotta like Jody Coleman. Like tell us a funny Jody Coleman story.
Jody Coleman.
Yeah.
Oh man, like even when it comes to Jody Coleman, he was quiet back then. So what y'all see now, Jody was really, really quiet.
Wow.
Yeah, what you see now, Jody was nothing like that. So I mean, we was taking Lunchables in the back eating them. You know, this was when Lunchables first hit the market. Yeah. And you know, man, we wasn't about to pay no dollar for no Lunchables. So man, we would take those. If I'm running late, hey, clock me in. These are all things that we was doing at a young age.
So Jody Coleman was on some real nigga time, like,
man,
yeah.
Jody thorough. Ricky White. I think Ricky White had a baby at the time, and he was getting the diapers. If I'm giving too much game, this is
Statue that building ain't even ain't even open no more.
Yeah,
like, statue of limitations is over. Shout out to Michael Wright.
Taking the diapers. Man, we was getting what we could out of there, man. We wasn't making no money.
Right.
So yeah, we was just having a blast. Right. We made money off maybe tips of old ladies taking stuff to their car.
Right.
But yeah, it was always a job, but you better have a side hustle somehow.
Right.
But we had great times in Kroger's.
Shout out to Kroger's, man. So how did your parents feel when you got fired from your job?
Once again, man, my mama like, man, this path and what you You know, my dad was always at work. Always. But he was the militant guy. I'm going to tell your dad, but my mom was like 4'9". So my mom didn't play. I got a lot of whoopings, but as you starting to get older, and my parents, you know, they had already raised my siblings. So here I come, it's totally different. And it was like you going down this path again. Yeah. You are not consistent and steady on anything that you choose to do. So here you are with your first job and you just got fired for fighting. So what are you going to do now? So I think they transferred me or something because I was still a good kid and my parents, you know, was just there talking to management and everything, checking on me. And I think they moved me to Kroger's on Siegenthaler, but I hated it. Quit. That was done. Yeah. I quit. And then after that, I figured I would never do fast food. That just wasn't my thing. I've never had a fast food job. So the next thing was working for Cub Foods. Okay. But I worked at Cub Foods at the Dayton Mall 2 weeks.
I mean, that's a far distance to be going to be working at.
In high school.
Okay.
In high school. But running around with different people, I was still trying to find my way, and I was hustling weed a little bit.
Okay.
But I was smoking weed, so I really wasn't making no money.
He's shorting the pack so he can smoke out of it.
Yeah, I wasn't making no money. And that don't get high off your own supply. So I was smoking weed.
Right.
And that's another thing that my parents could not understand. Like, they looked at it as a gateway drug. If you're going to smoke weed, eventually you're going to end up doing something harder.
Right.
So my mom stayed on me about that. Like, stayed on me about everything.
I mean, we all let that dare lion down a little bit.
Yeah.
We all did, collectively.
Yeah. But I mean, getting, like, now I look back, yeah, I was on the path to destruction because wasn't nothing going right.
Right.
Like, I already told you, when I was going to school, I was an average, like, I'll do just enough to pass.
Yeah.
That I won't fail.
Right.
And then outside extracurricular activities, it was trying to find a job.
So, what high school did you go to?
I went to Paul Lawrence Dunbar.
Paul Lawrence Dunbar?
Yes, sir.
Word. The legendary Dunbar. The Dunbar.
We
right?
was jumping.
So, are you still playing sports at this time? Or you kind of fell back from that because you working?
Nah, by this time, I'm full-fledged girl mode.
Okay, right.
Steady, just that guy. Because I'm already dealing with my family jumping with my nieces and all my guy friends. And now I'm not even thinking about nothing having to deal with sports.
Right.
I'm that guy that's coming fresh to death to the game and the bleachers.
You trying to bag everything.
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
And I'm
from bagging groceries to bagging hoes.
I'm that guy there. Nah, you laughing. That's real talk.
That's the point he's at.
I know it's true because look, I said it, his face expression didn't change. Like,
nah. Because I'm that guy that everybody want to hang around. Everybody know. Because not only, because you got to think, my house, with me having nieces that's my age, and I just told you that all of them are pretty.
Yeah.
So one thing about a lot of pretty girls, they all hang with each other.
Oh, yeah.
So my house stayed with nothing but
the baddest,
beautiful women. So, yeah, I'm full-fledged.
Right.
But I still kept a job.
Right. Look.
I still kept a job because you can't be fly with no money.
Word. say that again for the people in the back.
Man, you can't be fly with no money, man.
At all.
Don't spend your last trying to buy rims, paint jobs, clothes, and now you playing Dutch with the girl that you trying to go and take out.
You can spend your last money on captainsclothing.com. You got to get it from me personally. But
Yeah.
Plug it.
I got to. So, what is one great takeaway from high school and what is one negative takeaway from high school?
Man, the great thing, I graduated.
I
graduated.
After your tumultuous little situation going on leading to that.
Do everything. I graduated. And I think the worst part about my high school years was really nothing. Because, I mean, it groomed me. It groomed me. I don't have no bullying stories. I don't have none of that. Shout out to Donald Jones, who owns Legacy, Tyrone Berry and whatnot, Bradley. And when I even came in as a freshman, they was already rolling the red carpet treatment out to me.
Word.
Yeah, like this my little guy. So yeah, I don't really have no bad memories about high school.
Right.
Not at all, man.
Right.
It made me who I am today.
Word. Okay, so now we're on the path from there. So after high school, what's your very next move that you do after high school?
Okay, Foot Locker.
Foot Locker.
I gotta throw Foot Locker in there.
You were the plug on the J's.
Man, I just told you, man. I just told you, bro. I was that guy that had the connections on. You know how some people pretty much got the connections on a lot of different things, and you can call them for that.
Yeah.
That was kind of like how it was. And working at the Salem Mall, that gave me access to all your dope boys and everybody in the city that was hot. And I was that guy that had the plug on the shoes. And after that, of trying to find myself after high school, I moved down to Atlanta to move with my brother. Because my brother moved to Atlanta back when I was in the 8th grade. He was trying to find himself, and he couldn't make it here. So he got up and he just left. So after I graduated high school, it was more so, okay, I'm going to move away too because maybe I don't need to be here.
Right.
But that didn't work out because at the time, when I was at my senior year in high school, I met my wife. So me going away, I probably was gone maybe 90 days to figure it out. But my wife was writing me letters almost every day to come home.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been rocking with my wife for over 25 years.
Shout out to man. Look at that, man. Like to me,
that was one of the things I did right.
Mm-hmm.
I did a lot of fuck up, excuse my language.
Nah,
but,
you can cuss all you want to, man.
But yeah,
say another cuss word real quick. Just get out the way.
Yeah, but that was one of the things I did right. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when I came back, and my brother told me that, like, man, you ain't coming back to Atlanta. That girl got you, and he was right.
So, like, what are some of the things that you saw early in y'all relationship that were things that you needed, not wanted, that she provided?
She didn't play. She was one of them people that you had to have your A game. She wasn't like the type of person that went to the club. She knew what she wanted in life. She was family oriented. She wasn't stupidity dealing with like money. I would mess up money. She'd be like, "Why'd you do that?" She had her own bag. I met her at Foot Locker. She was the cashier. When she came in, it was like, damn, who is that? And you got to have your words and have your game face on when you're talking to her, because to this day, she's still that boss mentality of how she think. And she was something totally different from any other girl I had ever dealt with. She was more so like, nah, if you messing with me, I don't care about none of that. You got to have your game face on mentally. And she just pushed you. See, one thing about women, they can either make you feel like you can accomplish the world, or they can pretty much make you feel like the world is just crumbling.
Amen.
And that's real.
Yeah.
So when you picking a mate, you got to pick somebody that make you feel like, man, you can do all things with God, but you definitely need a partner that's going to push you and tell you, yeah, you messed up on that.
Right.
And she was that for me. And my mom used to tell me all the time, quit bringing snatch nasty women around the house. And that stuck with me, because once again, I'm dealing with my mother. She ain't really happy with some of the decisions that I make.
Yeah.
So you bringing snatch nasty women around the house, you shouldn't be bringing women around the house that you're not really serious about. So when it came to her, it was game on.
Word. So so when you come back to Dayton from Atlanta, like, do you feel like you kind of failed to a certain extent because you kind of went there for a reason and you come back? Like, do you feel like you two steps forward, 2 steps backwards?
I felt like that. I did. But in the end, God blesses you in the process, because at 19 years old, I had my son, de jour.
Right.
And I didn't really know what to expect. Here I am, a kid, about to raise a kid. And the way my goings as far as keeping a job, it ain't looking too good. You know? Like, man, it went from just trying to figure it out. I probably worked at every temp service in Dayton, Ohio, trying to find what's going to work.
They hit you with the, man, we already got your your resume on file already.
All of that.
Yeah.
My wife always worked.
What was the worst job that you ever worked?
The worst job I ever worked?
Yeah, and I'll say mine next. I'll do mine while you thinking.
Waste management.
Oh,
I worked for waste management. I was not rock hanging off the back of a truck. I hated it.
Well, wait. So, like, you was the person that was like collecting trash.
Yeah.
So, like, I hate it. I'm still trying to picture you not doing it.
I did it. Hey, and it goes. Hey, look, hold on. We gotta go back.
Funny,
look, man, we gotta go back.
All right.
I quit the same day. The route wasn't even done.
Wait. You hopped out the truck and it's like,
I'm done.
I'm close enough to home.
I'm done.
You gonna walk?
I'm done. And I think they terminated me altogether. Like, you can't never come back.
You ain't even return a uniform. Like, ain't even work.
Nothing. I didn't even have a uniform. I had to look.
You bought stuff to work in.
I didn't have a uniform. when you working for a temporary service, I tell you, I had a black and blue triple fat goose, and it was a nice coat, and it got dirty, and I said, man, this ain't for me. I said, man, and I just kept thinking about the TV show Rock. Like, man, I ain't Rock. Like, man, I know this ain't my life. I know it's not my life.
One splash of garbage truck juice changed your life.
Man, man, look, anybody that works in like the waste industry, man,
shout out to y'all, man.
I applaud y'all. Man, there's so many jobs out there, man, that people take, like, man, really, they work hard, right?
Bro, you work out for a living. What do you mean some job is hard, bro?
I started picking up weights at 19, but me picking up trash all day is just one. Look, and Peanut, we gonna keep it 100. And me, I felt like, man, I'm already fly, man. I'm not trying to be picking up nobody's trash.
By that time.
Oh my God!
But you know that's the messed up mentality. But at the time, man, I really wasn't picking up nobody's trash. Like,
Word. So you worked there. What's another? So you also worked at Dayton Power and Light.
I did Dayton Power and Light.
Yeah.
Now I wasn't the guy cutting off people's stuff, but I was the guy having to go in people's homes and read the meter in the basement.
Oh,
Here we go.
What kind of thing did you see walking inside people's basements in Dayton, Ohio?
Here we go. All right, so the east side is more dirtier than the west side.
Yeah, for real.
Cause you gotta go outside to get in their basement. You gotta lift up the ladder.
Oh my
God!
But people will say, man, the east side is something totally different, man.
Yeah.
Them houses are old and dirty, man. And I quit that too because hey man, look, I'm consistent at quitting, you know. It was more like, man, I'm cool. A lot of these houses are dirty. This is way before bed bugs, but man, you really start seeing how people live, bro.
Yeah.
What was the worst house you've walked into, and what was the conditions of the house when you walked in?
It was pitch black. It was pitch black, and they gave me a key to go in, and it was so dark, and the lights would not come on, and it had like a really, really, really bad smell. So I ended up calling the supervisor, and I told him, like, I got this key and I can't get the lights on, but the smell here is so foul, I had to run up out of there. And normally when you got a bad smell that bad, they'll go out and send somebody to see what's going on. And it was a dead body in there.
Oh wow!
It was a dead body in there.
So like, did you find out the day after, or you sat there and waited till?
Nah. It was the next day.
Okay.
When they sent somebody out. Nah, I wasn't sticking around for nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
He said, "Nah, on to the next one."
Yeah, on to the next house. But yeah, it was a dead body in there.
Yeah.
You know, it was a dead body.
So like, walk us through the day that you quit this job.
Oh man, the day I quit this job is I'm trying to find my way on what's the next move, because I think at the time I was still juggling between. Do you guys remember the e-check?
Yeah.
I did the e-check too.
Okay.
And I was doing DP&L and the e-check, and I remember just walking from house to house, and I just had one of them moments. I said, man, I'm done. Like, man, I'm gonna bring your scanner. Well, you're not finishing the route? Nah, I gave y'all enough hours.
Just don't quit this interview halfway through.
Man, no. Like I said, I've gotten a lot better, bro.
Yeah.
You know, when you trying to find yourself, you know. I didn't have that being able to go to college and figure it out on the way. I had a son and I needed some money. And I hadn't landed a job yet that I was comfortable with. So until I found that, I was on pace of just quitting everything. So, yeah, that's exactly where it's at.
Right.
Straight quitting everything. I quit the e-check because that paid like $6. And
Wait a minute.
man, look, Peanut. Real talk, man. A lot of these guys be stunting because a lot of them would have the pretty cars and they couldn't even pass the e-check. Some of their seats, some of their seats didn't even have voltage where the seats would be rocking.
Like they can be riding.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they rocking with the.
Yeah, people stunt for real. I mean, I would have guys trying to cash me out to pass the e-check. Like, man, you put all this money into this car and you can't.
Big old rims, bang on
all
the paint.
And can't pass the e-check. You gotta think, if you couldn't pass that e-check, you really couldn't drive.
Man.
Your car is not valid in Ohio.
Man, listen. The very next day they got rid of e-check, I went and got straight pipes put on my car. I was so happy. What? Hell yeah, I ain't want to get no muffler. I went and got straight pipes on there.
Yeah, so people be stunting. I learned that at an early age too, man.
Oh, and for the millennials out there that don't understand what e-check is, can you please explain what e-check is?
All right, e-check is an emission system where they check and make sure that you're not having too much exhaust polluting the air. And if your car is not passing the e-check, you don't get no tags.
Right.
And this is one of the things that people felt like, I don't have enough money to fix my car. Y'all need to get rid of this. And that's the only reason they got rid of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, like, how do you feel now when we can literally have barbecue on New Year's Eve now?
Man, I really
think about that connection. Like, think about that. Like, we had normal winters then.
The weather changes so much now.
You don't think it's climate related? You don't think pollution related?
I really can't say that. I really can't, because one minute it can be hot, next minute it's cold, but that's Ohio weather in general.
Right. If you don't like Ohio weather, just wait 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's it. Because you can have all 4 seasons, and within 10 minutes. And I'm battling that now, Peanut. I haven't quit here, but I'm battling. You know, this is my city, but I haven't quit.
Yeah.
My son jetted.
Well, your son already go?
Man, my son, when he graduated high school, he said, I'm gone.
Yeah, he quit it.
My son been in Orlando, Florida ever since he's graduated.
Was you proud to see him quit something?
Good move.
Man, my son is a better version of me.
In what ways would you like to say that?
He's dialed in. When I say focused, way more focused than I was. He talked different. He moved different. He's more calculated. Like, for him, he would be asleep in class, and the teachers would tell me, man, I've never had a student that was so smart and memorable. Like, he wouldn't even study sometimes, and he was just a straight A student. He would try to do, like, little academic things, and he was nonchalant about coming home with trophies. Now, he never even just thought he was going to win, but he did it anyway. He graduated high school, and he had a lot of different options for him. But he said, I want to put pressure on myself that I don't want to have to ask mom and dad for anything. So I'm going to put so much pressure on myself, I'm going to go to Orlando, Florida, the UCF. But before,
completely disconnected.
Yeah, but before he even graduated high school, his junior year, he spent the summer at Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh. I think it's Pittsburgh. And he had already knew then, I'm going to make it happen. Right. And he's about to graduate this spring.
Right.
So, yeah.
Salute to your son, man, for sure, man.
That's the jour,
man.
He that guy. All my kids are driven. Totally different from me. All my kids are straight A's. And they're all driven. Like, my daughter graduated with a cosmetology license. As soon as she graduated, she off to work.
Word.
She went to CTC, and now she's doing her own thing. My youngest daughter, is not even in high school yet, and she's already in her room perfecting her craft on how to be a nail tech.
Word.
My kids, like,
are dialed in. Like,
they dialed in. Like, even in high school, my son, like you talked about gym shoes and stuff, he was already thinking, like, if I can get my hands on these shoes, I can make a quick $600-700.
All about buying them and selling them.
Why go to work? That's how these kids think now. They're not thinking about going to go work like how we were thinking about getting a job. Nah, they don't think like that at all.
So, like, before we go further in your life, let's talk about where we talk about off camera, which that is like a different notion, because we had the notion of just being workers and you work till you retire, you live 2 years later than that, you die from diabetes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think will be the shift in climate of why the kids are like that nowadays?
Because they don't believe in working all them years, and then once they retire, they really don't enjoy their time in their life.
What made us buy into it? You think it was our OGs did it?
Because that's what we was told. Like, man, you need to get on at GM.
Yep.
We're still being told to go to college and get a look. I got friends right now with degrees, and I probably make way more than them off of a trade because I ended up finally doing something right and getting a CDL license.
Okay.
And I was clocking major dollars.
Right.
But I never bought into going to college because I didn't really care for school and getting all that debt.
Right.
So these kids now are like, I can figure it out on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I can figure it out on my own.
YouTube University.
Yeah, why do I need to go and pay all this money and I'm not even going to always get a return on my investment if I do go to college?
Word.
So I get it. I tell anybody, man, do what makes you happy. Start early. I wish I would have started early and been consistent on something.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'm here on your show right now because I did something right.
Absolutely.
But
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
they buy
Word.
into
That's
that.
hard.
You know, they buy into that. You know, create your own lane. Don't wait on somebody to give you nothing. You just never know. But you always got to keep trying.
Right. So, what role led to your first client, which was a family member, right? Like your first client was a family member. What role led to you eventually start training people?
Wow, man. Coming from truck driving, I was an avid reader. I read books, maybe 3 to 4 books a week.
You be reading and driving, man?
See, the thing was, I was a contractor down there. Nah.
He on the road like
No.
407 years
Yeah.
ago.
True story. I'm going to tell you how this worked out. God started putting a shift on my life. I finally got a CDL license, and I probably quit 3 jobs before I landed one that I could tolerate as a truck driver. See,
Right.
they don't tell you that in school as a truck driver.
Yeah, that everything will be different.
Yeah, everything. You got to find what worked for you. I was not that guy that was going to be over the road all the time. I was not that guy who was going to be driving everywhere and not being home.
They look at your resume, bro. You don't play when it comes to quitting jobs.
I didn't.
I didn't know how to play with you.
Man, I quit, and I finally landed a job that I could tolerate. I was doing contract work down at AK Steel in Middletown.
Word.
And I was known for that
That's
guy.
a good stock, too, by the way.
Yeah, I was known for that guy whenever you saw me. All he ever does is read. And I got to give a shout out to the Springer family, Gwen. She the first book she ever gave me was The Coldest Winter Ever.
Coldest one ever, yeah.
That was
That's a
the
really
first-
good book.
I was on all them street fiction books, all of them.
Yeah.
I read them all the time, and over time I stopped reading them because they started messing with my head.
In what ways?
Just thinking negative, quick money, because you start reading all them street novelty books. You got to be careful what you put into your head. And I had always access to get in the game at any given time because a lot of my friends were still hustling. So I started reading those bio books. Everybody got a story. Everybody has a story. And then it got into self-help books.
Yeah.
Eventually you got to get off the porch and start doing something on your own. So I started studying to be a personal trainer. And this is where it gets rocky. Coming from truck driving and trying to learn human anatomy, science, fitness, calculated, everything. I had already told you being dialed in.
Yeah. Oh.
Uh-oh.
What happened? Yeah, there we go. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shout out to Brave Nate, man. If you
Yeah.
guys like that interview, please make sure you guys watch our playback on YouTube. Go ahead. Yeah. So.
But yeah, being dialed in, I didn't have a tutor or somebody that helped me with human anatomy coming from truck driving. And this is where it gets this is when it gets real sticky. you want to be a certified personal trainer. I didn't want to have the YMCA certification. I didn't want something quick. I wanted to know exactly how a personal trainer operates and how they move. I didn't have that at all. And I went seeking it, and all the trainers that I thought was dope and who had a name for themselves, when I seeked them out, they shut the door on me. When we talk about shut the door, it was like, nah, I ain't helping you.
Was there anybody that like you were like close with that did that, or was it just you reaching out to people that were prominent in that field?
Man, I had reached out to, I'm not gonna speak his name because I don't really think at the time he was
figuring it out himself.
We'll say that. We'll say that. I think he was trying to figure it out, and I don't think really for me to ask him to mentor me, he already had the right headspace. And when I did reach out to him, I think he might have saw something in me before I saw in myself. And he really wasn't hands-on or anything. And I think once he invited me to one of his group training where they do the boot camps, I know a lot of people. And I think he didn't really like that. And then after that, he never talked to me again.
So I've never thought about this in the history of me living. Like, I am today years old when I found out that it's like rapper beef with niggas that work out. Like, it's literally like somebody would be like, yo, you trying to take my spot as the, feel me? Like, but people look for a spotter when you lifting weights, but.
When it comes to being a personal trainer, it is a ego, jealousy-driven industry. And when I say that, sometimes your clients don't want to even watch other trainers. It's more so like, okay, you shouldn't look at him, you shouldn't like him, you shouldn't look at nothing. When I came in, it was a lot of division, and we can get into all of that on how I even started doing what I'm doing now.
Absolutely.
But I failed my personal training exam twice. A lot of people don't even know that. They just think I just came out the gate and I was making it happen. I had a lot of different struggles. You know, I was always a good talker, and I had already talked my way into working at LA Fitness, but I wasn't certified. And the lady like, if you become certified, I'm gonna give you a job here. And man, I struggled with that. Like,
what was the hardest part about it, of getting certified?
Not knowing the terminology sometimes when it comes to your bone structures, what muscle movements work this one to get results. And me not having a mentor or a tutor, who you gonna ask?
Not a truck driver.
You're not gonna ask no truck driver.
Yeah, feel me?
So
like,
you start seeking out something.
He built like the damn truck.
Exactly. So all of that.
Yeah.
So your first initial thought is, who the hottest trainers around here that I can go ask?
Word. So I see what led you down that.
So that's
road.
what happened. I started trying to find out who would be willing to help me. But one thing that I learned, and I got this from boss man James Gillette, he a boss for real.
Right.
He's in Columbus. He said nobody's going to help you until you help yourself. You know him.
Horace.
Yeah, he's
we
a
been
boss.
talking about Horace.
He's a boss.
Go ahead.
He's a boss.
Yeah.
And I look, he from Westwood. And I approached him one time to help me. And I approached him at the wrong time. We was at the club. I'm feeling myself. You know?
Yeah, man. Look.
I approached him in
You
the
in his
club.
ear like this? Well, you in his ear?
Like,
music
bro,
playing?
like, look, you the
Look.
guy.
Yeah.
Can you help me?
And you talking his ear while he watching the girl shake her ass. Like,
Yeah. And he
What?
looking at me like this guy. And the only advice he gave me, like,
do
man,
push-ups in the corner and I come back.
That's
what I would have said.
Nah, he flat out told
He's
me.
solid.
He's solid. He flat out told me, you have to be able to make this whole club feel like it's time to work out. If you can't do that, you ain't never gonna be dope.
Damn.
The whole club.
The whole club. But that's what he does.
How do you do that?
Hey, you got to figure it out.
That's hard.
He's not gonna tell you how to figure it out, but you got to figure it out.
Because that's gonna be different depending on the person that's giving the message.
Exactly.
That's hard.
Look, they
That's hard.
always say this. When the student is ready, teachers will appear.
Yes.
When I finally was starting to get my own grind and really figure it out, I started shifting of the people that really wanted to help me versus the people who really wasn't in a position to help me. But that all falls on God too. Putting a lot of people who really wasn't supposed to be in my area.
Right.
But yeah, I went through a lot, man. A lot of people told me no, doo-dooed on me. I mean, a lot, man. When I say I went through a lot to get to this point, beyond. And that's why I show so much love when people come and see me and they want to be a trainer, because I know what it felt like to have them doors shut. And here you are being as humble as you can be and say, hey, bro, I need help.
That's a hard thing for a man to ask anybody.
Man, I get a lot of guys right now who don't want to go see a personal trainer because they feel like I ain't going to ask a man for no help. You can't think like that. Do you want to be healthy or you don't? So you got to check your own ego. You got to.
Right.
You got to.
But then, like for instance, so I would like to draw the parallel of investing and workouts. To me, it's kind of the same thing because you got to be repetitious in how you approach it, right? So, but when you spoke about how, you know, other people don't want you looking at other people, I kind of draw the similarity of, because they maybe have somebody who's doing investment strategy different from mine. I have a rebound strategy. You may have somebody that is buy wise green, sell wise green. If it turns red for a second, you out of there. Mine is, if it's red, it's a good time to buy it.
Yeah.
Do you think that kind of the same thing with working out, because you'll have different techniques in order to build it the way you want to? So if you may have one student studying two teachers, would that kind of be like too many chefs in the kitchen?
Man, you never stop learning. You'll never stop learning. Like, even with me, I refer my clients to somebody else that might be better at bodybuilding. Now, I did have another mentor who came into the game. He was a bodybuilder, and he took me under his wing. He ended up taking me to the Arnold Expo.
Oh.
Showing me all kind of different things, you know, because he wanted to help me. He was like, I believe in you. I'm going to show you certain things. But he was a bodybuilder. I wasn't trying to be a bodybuilder.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, like.
I just wanted to.
I didn't want that.
I just wanted to be.
I don't want the bronze tan on me when my neck is different from my whole body.
I didn't want none of that, but he took the time to show me little things that I could walk away from. And then it was like certain things that I had to learn on my own. But you never stop learning. I still don't know it all. Right. So if I have questions about, I got this client, they dealing with this, that's why I deal with so many people, being able to refer them and ask certain questions. Because if you don't, now you stuck, and now you got your client stuck. Because now they looking at you like, why we ain't got no more results? You have to be able to humble yourself to be able to help your client.
Yes.
Because if you don't, now you're going to get a bad rep.
Yeah.
And we talk about bad reps, I deal with a lot of different people. And that one person that you hurt can destroy everything that you built.
Have you seen that happen to other bodybuilders before? I mean, not bodybuilders, but like other personal trainers, to where one bad situation kind of crumbled their...
I see it all the time. And I see it based upon when you have people who want to do the group training and they go in there for the first time and they try to keep up with the people that actually been doing it for a while. You got to stay in your own lane. Take your time. Do things slowly. Like when you work with me, you're going to start doing body weight exercises. And then you gradually move up to different things. I start you out small with reps. You know, you might end up doing maybe like 10 reps and you work your way up. But nothing is just, I'm going to abuse you. No, you have to take certain small steps to get to the big steps, or you will hurt somebody. Like for myself, I deal with a lot of older clients. I deal with men, kids, all of the above. And if anything feels uncomfortable, we done. We move on to something else. I don't believe in pushing people to the point of too much pain. I can deal with soreness. I don't mess with pain at all.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to be smart.
I seen some of your gauntlets before where people was like, because I like the way you work out. Like, I mean, I haven't personally been to your like thing, but I'm one of the people that too. It's like I'm self-taught because I'm definitely one of the people like you talking about, where it's like, it's not I don't want nobody directing me. I just look at people that have the similar body structure that I have, and I will mirror their workouts, right? Yeah. So like one of my favorite things is like circuit workouts, where I'm like, start here, next one, next. I don't take a break, so I take a little water drink, and I go back up, and I see great results in that.
Yeah.
So when I saw, I watch your interviews, I watch a lot of your stuff. So when I saw you doing the circuit work, I was like, it interests me. But when I see people like lifting big ass tires and shit, I said, man, wait a minute now.
Yeah. The thing with that is, I had to learn. Wow, Peanut.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling
It's so much. Like for myself, starting to be a personal trainer. When I recorded myself shooting videos like everybody else, nobody watched that. Nobody cared. I'm already in shape. Nobody wanted to see that.
Yeah.
That didn't work for me. That didn't work for me at all. The minute I started really putting everything on my clients and recording, we're not talking about the beginning phases. We're talking about the brutal phases that you see.
Yeah.
That's what worked for me. And I'm the type of person, if I can scare you off my videos, you ain't ready for me.
Word.
You just not ready for me. If I can scare you off of that, mentally, you're not ready for me. Because I'm going to hold you accountable for everything that you say. And most people don't want to hear that. Right. When you start saying, well, you told me this. You told me that. And then when you put it in their face, it's like, did I really say that? Yeah, you really said that. But yeah, those videos are people that's really been with me for a while.
Word.
I would never put anything like that on somebody that's new.
Right. So, this to me is like the perfect, marriage of something I like to watch, which, like people who have circuit workouts, plus with your podcast, right? So, like, what was the part where you meshed it together?
Finding what worked and what didn't. 2020 hit, and I was going through some things within my marriage and trying to figure out what my next move without quitting. And I had already said I was going to walk away from truck driving, and I did that, but I still work. I still got a job, and I didn't have any clients, and it was just a sitting period. For me, I take a lot of sitting periods to get my mind right. And I remember just sitting on my deep freezer in my basement, and I recorded a video like I'm about to start back training, because I hadn't trained in like maybe 2 years. And it was more so, how am I going to do anything different than what I did before? And after that, my wife told me, listen, babe, what's going to separate you from everybody else? You're a talker. People gravitate to you. You've been like this your whole life. Why don't you interview your father? Your father is very knowledgeable. He's deep. And I'm thinking, like, do you really think somebody gonna watch that? You never know unless 500
views later.
500 views later of, like, it's just raw, uncut laundry detergent, everything. 500 views. And then I had my cousin, which was my first client. He showed up every day. I had no clients, but he showed up every day to work out with me. He was the walking billboard that I needed, and I put him on film on why did he start working out? Why did he take it serious? That video got like maybe 400 views. And then I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, I might have something.
Right.
Nobody already don't watch me want to actually work out on my own. So it's like, okay, in the back of my mind, I'm already thinking, like, what can I do differently to just mess the whole game up for everybody?
Yeah.
How can I build a bridge for everybody to get along and show some type of unity when people don't support each other in this fitness game? Because I already told you, it's an ego-driven industry.
Absolutely.
And I had a list of people I was just going to write out that I thought was dope.
Yeah.
That I thought was dope.
I mean, you kind of said interviewing the competition.
I wouldn't even say the competition. I can't say that, Peanut. It wasn't really the competition. Because I met Corey Richardson way before I was even a certified trainer. And he was dealing with the same things. Frustrated here, no support, no nothing. I'm thinking about moving to California. Nobody's helping me.
Yeah.
So it's like, damn, everybody got the same story. So why don't nobody help each other? So it was like, all right, I'm about to fuck the game up. 2020 shuts down all the gyms. Nobody's doing anything.
But you got one at the crib.
I got the gym equipment. I got shit outside. I got stuff in my garage. Man, I'm about to murder everything coming. So here we go. I started dumping off interviews of anybody that want to come work out. If you dope, prove it. You work out, come prove it.
Right.
You a trainer? Come through and holler at me. The next thing, like you say, clocking them out, interviews.
Yeah.
I'm dialed in. I'm doing anywhere between 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Nobody can go anywhere. They
Right.
have to watch me.
Yeah.
There's no gym.
Yeah.
So now it's like
They sitting around with chips and food, watching you work out.
everybody is watching what I'm doing. Who is this guy? You got to think. I'm already 5 years in of trying to be a trainer. It took me 5 years. I wasn't overnight.
Wow.
I was not overnight.
Wow. Because it looks.
It looks like it's overnight.
Wow.
5 years in the game.
See that, man? I like to hear that type of grind, that type of dedication, because a lot of people don't have that. Like, we will say great things about the, it's like the youth, where, like, if they find their niche and they stick in there, it'd be good. But if they have that period where they don't get instant gratification from it, they are more inclined to,
Michael Wright talked about that on his interview. Instant gratification.
Yep.
Like, he was living in his basement with his mom, but he had a billboard right behind Donut Palace. But he was humble enough to say, I ain't there yet. So I was that guy, like, man, I'm about to just do it the best way that I can. But I was 5 years. I made no money. That's how I ended up in my basement. Like, those big box gyms that y'all see, LA Fitness paid me $6 to train a client off of $75.
Wow.
See.
I did all the work and they gave me $6. So
That's
going back to
nuts.
what we do, I quit that job. Hey, look.
Oh, my God, bro.
Hey. I'm consistent.
You are the most legendary quitter in the history of Legendary People podcast history. The most legendary
Like, anybody seen Tony? When he break.
Yeah, he break.
I quit that, and then I ended up going to Absolute Fitness.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mike Mormon.
Shout to that.
And Mike, he was a contractor. And one thing about when you making a transition, you think them clients at LA Fitness gonna follow you?
Right.
No.
No, I like this facility.
Man.
You was all right, but I like the facility.
That's it. I had nobody follow me over to that gym.
Wow.
It was a struggle. And at that gym as a contractor, I was charging $20 to go over there and train with me. But he charged me $10 off every client.
So you still getting
I'm
a half
still
cut,
losing.
Yeah. You're not even here with me.
So let's be honest.
Yeah.
I only made $4.
So what happens next? Wait, I'm glued. What happens next?
I
Daniel Stoppin Stevens, okay?
Wow. This fun, man.
quit.
This a fun interview.
But you need t-shirts. He needs t-shirts. I quit is on the shirt.
I quit.
I quit, but I keep going.
I quit.
I quit,
I
but
never give up.
Yeah, I quit, but I quit, but I never give up.
I quit, but I never
Never
give
give
up, bro. And after that, I sat still, man, and all I did was just buy exercise equipment.
Yeah.
I didn't train, and 2020 took off, man. You got me in tears, but I quit, and here we are, man. It took my clients to say, man, start recording everything we do.
Yeah.
Start getting you some merchandise.
Yeah.
Let's make it happen, man. But that same person, I had a client tell me, man, you dope. Man, you dope. But at the end of the day, the same people that love you, man, they gonna hate you.
Word.
And I feel that now.
So this is my favorite part of the interview is
hey, let's do it.
My favorite part of the interview
Let's
is so the struggle of getting people to come on
Let's do
your
it.
podcast.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about some of the story paths of trying to get people, like, for instance, you have someone who will hit you up to want to be on your podcast. and don't show up.
So let me stop you there.
All right.
See, I never looked at myself as somebody that even had a podcast. I always just looked at somebody that wanted to interview people that I thought was dope.
Yeah.
And one thing about why you thinking somebody's dope, when you meet them, they are not dope.
Give me that one.
They are not dope at all, man. Like,
you don't have to name the situation, but name.
I can give you several scenarios.
Okay, there we go.
I can give you a bunch. It's a matter of which one I want to pick.
All right.
But the thing about it is, y'all see these interviews, y'all don't realize how many no's that I got to get that one.
Facts.
Facts. So everybody that y'all think is popular or that person, if they haven't been in my basement, it's because they told me no. That's how I'm going to keep it.
Wow.
I ain't going to name no names.
Right.
But if they dope,
right,
and y'all know they dope, and y'all see them, please know I hit them, and they told me no. But
I'm sorry, but look, I will never reschedule again. Honestly, he ain't talking about me.
No.
I ain't been
and what did I tell you, Peanut? I told you on
Yeah.
the phone. I
Yeah.
said I never walked around bitter or angry.
Right.
Because if I walked around bitter and angry, nothing would ever get accomplished.
Right.
And if I was that type of person, Todd ain't here, but Todd spent me.
Well, wait. Wait. He spent your ass twice because he ain't here today neither.
Hey, look.
Give him a point, man. What game we got? Easy.
Hey, look. Look, I'm gonna tell you how he spent me.
Okay,
I'm gonna tell you how he spent me.
Okay.
I tried to interview Smed, and in the process of trying to interview him, he like, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
But in the process, man, if you want to get down with this program of getting your business, you need to shoot me $500. And this was when they was doing the business.
Okay.
And
so Smith said, "Yeah, I'll come through interview real quick. I'll be on the way, but send me that 500 real quick."
It was more so like that.
Shout out to Smith, man. Stocking Smith, baby.
It was more so like that. It really was. It was more so like that.
So I'm at the point, like, for instance, so like you told that story, which is a phenomenal, legendary story. How do you feel when you're met with things like that? Because I've had it happen with two guests before, right? So I'll just tell my story too, just so you're not the only one here being transparent, all right? I had a rapper from the city, somebody I literally gave shoes to when we was in high school. I taught this person how to rap. They became very prominent in the city based off my rap structure that I taught this person. I hit them up and say, hey, I got a podcast. You'd like to come on there? All right, cool. The day comes, they don't show up. I hit them up the same day, call them, don't get no response back. Me and Smed got a whole day wasted. Smed looked at me like, man, I knew I should have had somebody else here, right? Now look, I hit the dude up afterwards. He was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Well, this and her happened, whatever. But by the way, can you mind sending me something to my Cash App?
What?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Do you understand? I ain't got paid off this yet. Why you think I'm gonna pay you? Like,
man, that's
it's
different.
networking. It's all networking.
yeah, but it's like this somebody I
they don't
personally
want to network for free.
This is somebody I personally helped. He got bullied in high school and I helped him.
That's really different.
Yeah.
You know, it makes you have tough skin.
Mm-hmm.
Cause the people that I want to interview, I pray about everything.
Yeah.
And if it's not meant, it's not meant. And my brother used to always tell me, if somebody tells you no, don't even ask why. Just move on.
Yep. Next opportunity.
And I live by that. And when we talk about missed opportunities, it's a lot of them that tried to backdoor and like, hey man, I kind of did wrong. So yeah. I give you another scenario. I won't get no names on this one.
The one they try to charge you? Well, no. He said something about charging for an interview, and then it's something with a prominent podcaster from here. It's a female show. Wish Upon a Star.
Well, I mess with Star.
Okay.
Star Dior, that's my people,
Yeah,
man.
word. Shout out to her, man. She's beautiful.
Yeah, her and Hector.
Yeah.
And she goes through the same thing dealing with podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
And you definitely gotta have thick skin.
Yes.
But on another note, I had somebody who told me no. And once they told me no, I left it at that. But then they came around again
Double
on
back.
the back door, like, I see what you're doing. I got this type of merchandise that can help your clients. I'm going to come by and give it to you. She dropped it off, and I'm a loving person. I didn't tell her I just wasn't going to mess with her, but I still gave it to my clients.
Okay.
But then I had to ask her, I offered you to come on and do an interview. So why did you tell me no?
Right.
When it's already here set up for you?
Right.
The answer she gave me blew my mind.
And what was the reasoning?
I didn't want to ruffle any feathers within the fitness industry.
One of those, such as
That she messed with me. I don't know why, but that's her words of what she told me.
Hold on, there ain't no Illuminati in the fitness
no,
game,
no,
is
no,
it?
No, if you harken back to what he said earlier, such as with the whole too many chefs in the kitchen kind of like analogy, is she's connected with another person, but she wants to be fluent in her business, but she can't be fluent in her interaction.
Some people don't like that. You know, some people just don't like that.
They're very, very territorial in y'all industry.
It's very, and I've never moved.
You wouldn't
that
think
way.
that.
You wouldn't think like that. You
fitness,
wouldn't, but I guess you're dealing with Dayton, Ohio.
It's hating Dayton.
Only so
Hating
many
Ohio.
people. It's only so many people in Dayton that you can train. So regardless if you got this client over here, if they don't mess with you and they not training with you, eventually they gonna go over here and they gonna be training somebody else.
Right.
So you dealing with the same clients over and over, over and over. You just in a small pond.
Yeah.
So eventually it's like it's not the trainer, it's really you.
Yeah.
But like I said, when I got into the game, man, it wasn't a whole lot of giving out love and trying to help other people and trying to mentor other people. You just had to figure it out on your own.
Right.
Asking for help was like, man, get out of my face.
Right. So, besides your dad interview, what is your favorite interview that's on your channel? And look, we're going to send only one fan over there. Not all you go. Just one fan is going to go there and go watch. I'm just kidding. We all got the same fan base. But what is one interview that if you were to suggest one of our fans, just one of them, to watch, which one would it be?
Just one?
Man, they can watch a couple, man, but they got to come back and watch ours, man. Like, it's only so many hours in a day.
Y'all dope.
That
The thing
thing, I
is,
appreciate
y'all,
it.
you dope. I'm not even.
I'm being silly, man. Come on, man. I'm being silly.
Look, I don't even.
Go watch every interview he got. They dope, bro. I'm being silly.
I think for me, I got so many, but I would have to say Ken Lo.
Ken Lo.
Because I looked up to Ken Lo. Like, he was that guy.
Yes.
When I say he was that guy, man, I really wanted to mimic selling T-shirts after him.
Yes.
Like, when I seen the Cadillac truck in Atlanta with Players University.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like the guy here.
Nostalgia alert.
Man, when I say the guy.
Yes.
And I didn't even know if he would even be acceptable to doing the interview. Because this is at a time where I don't know you, but when you pray and you ask God to send the right people to you, he was no hesitation.
That's hard.
And he lived in Florida.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll be there. It wasn't no, how long is it going to be? And when are we going to do it? It was just, I'm there.
Right there in the basement, bro. That's
Right there in the
hard, bro. That speaks to his character more than like, to me, like, just, I can't even, I'm getting, like, just flustered thinking of you wanting this interview, getting an interview, and then him coming all the way to where you at to do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's super dope, man.
I mean, man, and I know he did your podcast,
Yeah.
and he gave me a huge shout out on me
Word.
just uplifting where he was, because, I mean, his story was deep. And
Yeah.
everybody got a story, but him just saying he got off course of basically not doing what he was supposed to do, trying to please other people.
Yep.
And when you get off course trying to please everybody else, man, that's when you lose yourself.
Yeah, can you speak to that a little bit? Because, like, once you get some type of notoriety, you're going to have everybody. Like, I remember, no, seriously, I remember wanting the co-sign, and then eventually you become the co-sign. Speaking of which, her event, February 12th, I ain't forget to do that. I'm actually the host there. They tugging on the
That's
cake.
a bar.
So, my man, hey, so what is it like when you get some type of notoriety, and then now you got everybody tugging you every direction, but you have to still balance your family life, podcasting, and what you actually want to do in your free time?
Peanut, that's hard, and I know you're dealing with this.
Yes.
I know you're dealing with this. I had put up a post in my group that said silent and listen contain the same letters. And I said, God, I'm going to just sit still. And a lot of people thought I was in a depression state. I wasn't in a depression state. I had just did so much with so many people that I started neglecting myself.
Yes.
I really wasn't getting a lot of sleep, trying to train people. I'm a father, husband. I still work. I'm a mentor to other people. And everybody's pulling at you, pulling at you, pulling at you. It's draining.
Yeah.
And when somebody comes to see you and you're their personal trainer, they pay you to be uplifting.
Yeah.
And if you don't take that time for yourself, for self-care, man, you're just slowly killing yourself. I was that guy. I'm going to train everybody. I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to out-hustle everybody.
Yep.
Y'all will not out-hustle me.
Yep.
Team no sleep till I damn near killed myself.
Team no sleep turned narcoleptic.
Man, team no sleep till I almost killed myself, man.
Right.
To the point where I was running on maybe 4 hours sleep. I'll be laid down in my basement and clients running in and out. Like, man, you good?
Word.
And I wasn't. I wasn't taking care of myself. And they're like, how are you beneficial to us if you slowly killing yourself? So now I don't try to train everybody. I ain't, look, where's the camera at? I am not for everybody. I'm going to say that. It's a 1,000,001 trainers. You know, I love Kilo and the whole fire pit. Devin Allen, they doing their thing. You know, I just do more one-on-one. I really train no more than maybe 2-3 people. But I'm not for everybody. I know my lane, and I stay in my lane. But, you know, I have to do that for my own self-care. Even when it comes to doing the interviews, I don't do them as much as I used to because one thing that I've learned about the interviews, I don't like laziness.
Right.
If I'm going to edit your video, do the questions, and we're going to do it all, and you do nothing, not even try to promote your own video,
Wait a minute.
What am I doing this for?
Wait. This is the part that pisses me off about most of the guests that come on both our platforms. If we take the time out our day.
It's your baby.
Yeah. And then we present to you a finished product. You don't even want to repost your damn video?
And I don't like that. And it's the same way with my clients. You can't want it more than the client does.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? And it's like, you gotta want it. Yeah. Evidently, I reached out to you for a reason.
Right.
So if I reached out to you, there's a reason. I saw something in you. And then some people are just like, hey, I did the interview, that's it. Some people I've never even talked to after an interview, but I'm cool with that as well. So
speaking of which, you having to block a pastor due to politics.
Man, I did. I did.
You had to block a pastor, bro?
I blocked the pastor. Everybody ain't out here 100.
Oh, so
everybody out here is not.
What is the circumstances that wrapped around you having to block a pastor? Because it looks like you kind of pissed off about it. Still.
Man, I looked at it like I knew this person, and I thought he was dope. And when I reached out to him, he wanted to do it, and we was talking on the phone. And then he spent me and told me to go through the gatekeepers of his secretary. Like, I'm talking to you on the phone. You don't have control over your own life?
What?
Exactly.
And so he spent me that way. And then this goes to you as well, Peanut, where some people will go do another podcast, and if that podcast bombs, then they like, oh, let me go back over here and holler at you. And then it was just more so like, man, I'm cool.
I've seen that happen before.
Yeah, because I mean,
I've seen that happen.
There's a lot of people that I wanted to interview. They told me no, shut me down, I'll be there, whatever. But they did yours, but they wasn't honest enough to say, I just don't want to do yours. But if you don't mess with me, just say, nah, I can't do it. Don't have me thinking we going to do it. And then in the back of your mind, you know you're not going to do it at all.
What do you think would be like a reason, like a valid reason why somebody wouldn't do it? Because I watch your podcast and it's quality content. You get a nice shot. You have great conversations with them. I've used this is me on record. I've used your interview sometimes for like references, like in the Kenlo interview, for example. He don't have a bunch of online material. So us as journalists or meteorologists, what you call it, meteorologists, not meteorologists. I ain't studying. Meteorologists, right? We got to go back and find, scrape the internet, scrub stuff to find it. And then
you're doing your homework.
And for me to find something golden on your platform, I see the value in it. Do you think they don't see the value in your podcast, or you think it's something else?
Man, I think sometimes they just don't mess with me. And you got to be cool with that. Mm-hmm. Everybody ain't going to love you. Some people just ain't going to mess with you. It might be, I got to go to his house. Man, he might have a dirty basement. It might be like, I just don't fool with him. Or it could just be somebody might have said something bad about me. And that might have just made their thoughts like, okay, I ain't going to mess with him. People do things for different reasoning. Right. Like when they meet me, they be like, well, damn, man, he is pretty dope. I would have never thought that. But how am I supposed to be or act? Before we do anything, I'm going to talk to you off camera to get a vibe. I ain't just throw you in the mix. Yeah. But I don't know, Peanut. I really don't. I wish I had an answer for that. But I wish people would be more honest. We all grown out here.
Bro, I got to pick kids up from school and everything. I ain't got time allocating this to be standing here waiting on you to pull up.
Yeah.
Dead ass.
If you don't want, no different from a client. If you don't want to work out with me, you ain't got to work out with me. You called me.
Yes. You hit me up.
So if I'm not the person for you, cool, there's other trainers, but be honest on how you move. Yeah, that's all I ask. And I had to put this up. I'm not a mean person, but when you handling your business and you dealing with people, it just makes you stern. Yeah, don't play with me.
You gotta be stern.
You gotta be stern, because if I'm grown, I ain't got time to be playing all day. If I'm doing this as my business, just respect my time. Yeah. For instance, if I'm late and I told you I was doing the show today,
you showed up early on,
that's what I do. Everybody don't do that. Yeah. So common courtesy is, if I'm not gonna show up, I'm gonna be late. Do that. Most people will show up late and still look at you like, well, I'm here.
I had somebody wait. So here we go. I love this. Tell you, I've been waiting on this podcast so I can air all my grievances. I had a guest show up.
Talk about it. Look.
I had a guest show. There we go. Let's talk about interview now.
Man.
I'd have had somebody show up late to an interview, and I'll tell them specifically at business time because I got to pick my kids up at a certain time. And it wanted to turn into gossip goosey at the end of it. Want to keep talking?
No. But I told you that too. Control your interview. Right. Don't get off and have people rambling. Don't get to the point where you don't feel like you have control. Because one thing about me, I got a lot of elderly people that follow me, and certain things they'll pull me to the side and tell me about. I ain't like that. That person was talking real raunchy. I ain't like this, and I have to listen to what people tell me, because these are the people who are supporting me. Right. I ain't gonna never knock the person who got my back versus somebody who ain't liking, sharing, or commenting on nothing. Say that. Like I say, I pray about everything on how I move. If it's not meant to be, God didn't want that. Right. And like I said, I've been told the word no way more than what people can imagine. Right. So they think that my whole life is just waking up, training, and interviewing. Nah, it's not like that at all.
That's what I think.
Hey, look, and
look me right in his face like, that's what I think.
Yeah,
I don't care.
And it was
I still gonna think that when you leave. Like, he said that, but he still about to go work out so we leave here and then interview somebody.
I already worked out. I'm done. I'm done for the day. Right, Yeah, I canceled all my clients afternoon because I knew I was gonna do this, and I didn't want to be tired. I ain't need to be on your show tired and I'm not alert, and now it's like, man, I didn't even answer his question. Right. So, when I say I'm going to do something, man, I'm dialed in to the point where, man, you got me. I'm not that guy that's going to spin you. And there's not one person out here that can say, I did them dirty, I did them wrong. And if you feel a certain kind of way about me, it's because you probably felt like you did me dirty. And a lot of people do not want to take responsibility for what they did. They don't apologize for nothing.
Right.
And that even goes
accountability.
That even goes back to the person that I wanted to mentor me. If he was the type of person to say, I messed up, I apologize for what I did, because I know you seeked out when you first started. I didn't know that you was going to be the way you was.
Word.
I could respect that. We could move on.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't do that.
Right.
And one thing that I didn't really care about that situation, his best friend had reached out to me on some backdoor stuff. Like, man, I see what you're doing. You dope. You need to interview this person. That person knows me.
So, wait. So the person who you were already trying to, you know what I'm saying, like do good business with, mentorship, their friend kind of did the tap you on the shoulder kind of thing.
Yeah, he didn't know me. He just saw what I was doing. And he was like, damn, man, you dope. I got somebody that you should interview. Man, you should really link up with this person. That person knows me. That person really, really knows me of way before an interview.
Right.
I will mess with him.
Right.
But you got to at least be man enough to say, I apologize. Let's figure it out and work it out. That's the type of person I am. I don't hold grudges.
Right.
I move on. Being bitter and angry will destroy you. Will destroy you.
So, the Chopping Game podcast.
Chopping Game. That's the fellas, man. It was a spinoff. It was a spinoff. The guys that I was working with, man, it was just more so Chopping Game. But everything that everybody goes through. And I would bring in additional guests that wanted to work out with me. And we would sit down and we just talk about any and everything. It's straight organic. Everything that I do is raw and uncut. I just like how you doing. It ain't no edit.
Yeah.
If you said it, that's it.
I remember the one podcast I said something one time and I swear I stopped cussing right after that.
Yeah.
I frowned at it like, I shouldn't have said that. And it just changed the way I podcast from there on. I mean, I don't mind cussing now, but the cuss word I said was kind of
it came from your heart.
Yeah.
No, not that one.
Yeah.
I swear to God, not that one.
Yeah.
No. So, is there any way, like, I mean, are you still going to keep doing that, or it's kind of like, did that fall apart to a certain extent? Or did you quit that too?
Nah, I didn't quit. I'm gonna tell you. They all bosses.
Word.
They all are bosses, and when you turn bosses, your schedules don't always
Align up.
Shout
out to Smith.
Man, that's it. Like J Rock, he a boss now. Tony, he a boss. Jabri, he a boss.
Right.
Smitty, he a boss.
Yeah.
Like all of them are bosses. So when we link, we link.
Right.
You know, but it'll be again.
So you spoke about doing another podcast coming up with T Noble.
Yeah, I'm supposed to do her in like maybe 2 weeks. She's getting me on my show. And man, one thing about me, I haven't really been as active as I wanted to because I needed to take the time off to get my mental state
balancing.
Yeah, but now, man, I really see the love when people mess with you.
Yeah. Because
now I'm just trying to get back to all the people that's been trying to get me on their shows and double back to the people that I said I was going to interview with. And, man, I'm just rocking with everybody that's rocking with me.
Word.
You know, it's hard to figure out who don't rock with you.
Right. Right.
That's the biggest thing. That's the hardest, trying to figure out who cool with you and who not. That's real hard, but for the most part, yeah, I'm just doubling back to the people that's really dealing with me. And that's where I'm at.
One of the people that you deal with also is Derek, right?
Derek, oh man.
Let's go.
Hey, look.
Another one.
That's another one. But look, Derek was a little older than me, but I met Derek when I had a job at Rent-A-Center.
Derek Shepard, right?
Derek Shepard.
All right.
Oh, Big D.
Big
D.
GVC.
That's my guy.
Legendary
Hey, I beat him down too as trainer. Yeah, I gave him the business. But with Derek Shepard, man, they looked at Derek like he was gonna be the guy to come in and just snatch all the repossessed merchandise up. And Derek's not that type of guy.
Hey,
Derek is not.
Big old Cuddy teddy bear.
He the most humble ever.
Humble, nice, quiet.
You see what he said? He never really got in a fight in the hood like that.
Yeah.
Everybody loved him.
Derek.
He got his first fight in college. On a football field. Not even like.
That's him.
Yeah.
But at Rent-A-Center, they thought he was going to be the mean, Shrek style, go knock on the door, get the merchandise back. Man,
he grabbed with one hand.
You know what he told me? Man,
He quit.
He quit.
Hey,
Wait, he quit.
he quit before I quit. Hey, look, Derek gave me 2 weeks.
Oh my God.
Derek gave me 2 weeks, and he said, "Bro, they expect me to get a washer and dryer out the basement on my own." He like, "Nah, this ain't for me." Yeah, he quit in 2 weeks, and then I was following right behind him. But the one thing about Rent-A-Center, man, they was already ripping people off, and for me to have to go take merchandise from people that was already paying that high dollar amount, like I had people pull guns out on me at that job.
Wow.
I had a young lady, I had to take the bunk beds right before Thanksgiving. She threw hot coffee on me.
What?
Yeah, she threw hot coffee on me. I had a lot happen at Rent-A-Center, man. But that made me have a better understanding of the struggle that people be having.
Word.
But you never know what people going through, man.
But then again, man, look, I want to tell my Rent-A-Center story because this is
one?
perfect. Well, not from my person.
Was you a renter?
Nah. I completely saw this online. You know what I mean? There was this dude who was literally like liking this girl's pictures, right? He come on, like, he slide her DMs. He's like, yo, you feel me? Like, what's up with it? Whatever. She was like, can you fly me out? It's a beautiful lady in the third. Mm-hmm. She was like, yeah, this is the amount or whatever. It was like, I swear, it's so weird. It was like $1,286.65. And he was like, oh, like, that's it? She asked for the cash app, sent it to him. He was like, thank you, your Rent-A-Center is paid off. It was Rent-A-Center had like catfished them into paying the account off.
Hey,
swear to God,
hey, look, you had to have tactics.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you had, look,
and you know what I'm saying?
Look, you had to have tactics. I had one young lady, man.
Yeah.
She got mad at me because I got the Rent-A-Center, Rent-A-Center big ass
van.
Yeah. I mean, it pull up. It's already embarrassing that that you pulling up.
Yeah.
On the
So
block.
I caught her at Church's Chicken on Broadway. I saw her. So here I am.
Oh my God.
I got the box truck pulling up, asking about a payment. Like, man, I used to go to the nightclubs and I would see people stunting, and I had to be looking at them like, man,
I know you.
Like your payment due. Like, man, I was too nice. Look, I was too nice, bro.
Oh my God.
I was too nice at that job, man. And me taking people's furniture.
You and Big D, both of us.
You and Big D.
Both of
niggas riding around, not picking up nobody furniture.
Man, look, I just felt so bad when somebody had paid $1,000 for a microwave.
How you fall for that?
and I gotta repossess it, man. And it did something to me.
Boy.
Man, I done had my fair share of jobs,
Yeah.
bro. I did, man.
Yeah. So man, but all that really worked into your own imprint, which, you know what I'm saying, we here to celebrate, you know what I'm saying?
The Dan DeJour fit,
Dan
man.
DeJour fit, man.
The Dan DeJour fit. Like,
Thank you for the, you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Stuff in here.
wristbands. Look,
Wristbands.
man. I had your employees took them. I had some tees, bro. I came in. They
You
said,
can't pay for good workers, man.
Man, listen. I had the tees. Shout out to Dan Watkins, New Heights, man.
Word.
She supports me in so many ways. And I told her I was coming on a Legendary People podcast, and she said, I got you. So
I'm just gonna imagine that I tasted something. You know what I mean? It's all good. No,
Yeah,
no. I'm gonna slide through there.
that's
I'm
somebody.
spend some money.
That's somebody you definitely got to link up with.
Word.
Dan Watkins. She
Word.
dope.
Word.
She got her own shop, New Heights Nutrition. She
Word.
real dope.
Oh, I've heard about New Heights. It's NU, ain't it?
It's in Uber Heights.
Yeah, NU Heights. Yeah. I'm very familiar. Yeah, I'm gonna tap in.
Tap in, bro.
Yeah.
Tap in, bro.
So the imprint. Let's talk about the imprint because like the name is very, very. You know what I mean?
Hey.
It's meaningful.
Dan DeJour fit. Dan DeJour fit is half a Dan, which is my name, and my son DeJour. I've been doing this since '98. Like I said, I ain't always been consistent, but that Dan DeJour name has been strong, man. I started off just trying to sell T-shirts off of it. Like I say, I thought I was Ken Lo at one time, just trying to sell shirts. And then here we are with the fitness. So evidently something's working for me.
Right.
So yeah, if you guys want to train, anything y'all feel like y'all want to do with fitness, I can help you. Realistically, though.
He ain't got no lipo machine at the crib. It ain't in the basement.
It's realistic goals.
Yeah. All right. So, what is next for the great Daniel Stevens?
Man, that goes back to investing in your kids, man. My kids are my everything, my family. And I got my son about to graduate college here this spring. And
congratulations, man.
You know, he in me and my wife's ear to get down to Florida so bad. And I think that's a struggle for me because I'm like, I really want to get out the basement. I really want to get my own thing really jumping, have my own gym, but I don't know if I want to tie myself down here.
Yes.
That goes back to when I said I ain't trying to quit on dating, but the way how I think, you feel like, man, to get to that next level, sometimes you got to separate. And boss man James Gillette told me that. He said, man, sometimes your environment, you got to elevate and you got to leave. So if I want to do some, like, things that's way beyond my desires, sometimes you got to have faith and step out on that.
Yes.
So that's why I'm more so like, do I need the brick and mortar? Or do I just, hey, follow my son because he is the better version of what I'm doing?
That's hard, man. So here on the Legend of the People podcast, we had a thing called the butterfly effect. This is something you said in the course of the interview, something I found in the course of my research that I found that was truly profound and amazing. Just how we first met was just basically just through research. You know what I mean? Me literally researching guests. I came across your podcast before I even told you I was a fan of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so this is full circle for me. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are too big in their head to get out their own way to even tell you something like that. You know what I mean?
I get that.
I'm so glad because I have that same disposition with like myself and like that hour conversation that me and you had. I could tell like we are of the same type of tribe. You know what I mean? I'm the type of person where you can shine all you want to. Me blowing out your candles ain't gonna make mine's blow it. Like it ain't gonna make it shine any brighter.
But what's for you is always gonna be for you.
Absolutely. So just like your story of quitting shit, it's to me, it's legendary within itself because when you look at the butterfly effect of your children being so focused, dialed in, that shows that it's one thing that you didn't quit on was your family.
I never quit on
I got you, right? One thing you didn't quit on was your family. And a lot of people don't understand the currency in family. People don't understand how much you put into that is really going to be the real butterfly effect. So even like, think about this for a second. You didn't quit on your family. You quit all these jobs in the past. It don't matter because them were just jobs. To the fact where your son to venture off to build a new nest for you to hop and then move off of. So that butterfly effect of you not quitting on your family pay dividends in the future. Yes, I like to always tie together working out with investing because to me, the same mind state you got to go to get inside that gym and get your mind right in order to see that, because like I said yesterday, you can work your ass off, get on that scale, and you weigh 2 pounds more. You work your ass off more, get on there, you weigh 5 pounds more. Same way I can invest this money and I'm down 100. Invest the money again, I'm down 200. But you got to have that mind state knowing, I know my end goal, I know what I'm doing. And to me, that's something you didn't quit on. Like, that is something like in you because people quit working out. And for you to have like that part where people normally don't have that button to stay consistent, that shows true legacy to me because a lot of people can't do that. You have somebody that been working a job their whole life and they still broke every time they get their paycheck. They'll get their paycheck, they'll pay their light bill, they pay this, that, third, and they still broke, but then they'll come to you and then they'll quit working out. So to me, bro, your ability to quit shit, really, that is like your kryptonite when it comes to that. But your superpower is the fact that you can stay focused when it comes to working out, when it comes to being with your family, all the things that really mean something at the end of the day. Because, like we said before, GM, you know what I mean?
He quit on you.
GM quit on them.
Yeah.
So, bro, I want to tell you, bro, you are unequivocally a legend, bro. I appreciate everything you brought to this podcast, and not to mention, I still ain't done, baby. Man, still flowers left. Look, one of my favorite interviews by you, because I ain't get a chance to tell you mine. Man. It was the Keith Camp interview with B. Clothing.
Camp. He dope.
His story, because most of your interviews kind of are kind of surface sometime where, you know what I'm saying, you kind of just talk about where they at and where they going. That interview to me was kind of what we do to a certain extent. It's where he got a chance to be just as transparent, talking about him living inside his car and him struggling to get where he wants. That's the fabric of what we want here. Yeah. And today you provided that. You told us you told us the parts where people wouldn't like.
People didn't know.
You know what I mean? So, bro, I appreciate you, man.
People didn't know. And the thing of not wanting to quit, it's times now I still want to quit. I mean, because
I quit, but I don't give up.
That's what I felt like I was good at. But one thing about the whole training for me and working out, it helped me relieve stress. Stress, and that was my outlet.
Yeah.
And that worked for me. That really worked for me. Because when it comes to being stressed and angry, some people don't know what to do. And that worked for me. And at one time, I was huge. And my brother living in Atlanta, he saw me. And I said, man, I work out when I get angry, or that's my outlet. And he was like, well, little bro, what are you going through? Because it looks like you're angry all the time. How the hell you get so big?
Right.
But that's just how it was. That worked for me. But as far as quitting, I tell anybody, man, find something you enjoy and just run with it. Everybody's not going to like you. Everybody ain't going to support you. You got to have a belief in yourself that's bigger than somebody else's disbelief.
Yep.
Because people are people. They love you one minute, and then they hate you the next.
Fickle.
All the time. And when we talk, I already knew what you was going through.
Yeah.
I already knew it. Because, man, you only can be so, what's the word I want to look for?
Open? Because so we got to touch on the post. No, because we can make fun of him until we hear. Because he not really made fun of him, but me and him laughed a very long time off a post I made.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, is there anybody in the house tonight? Right?
Man, listen, Peanut, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that people don't talk about, man. And my story is still being written. But when it came to this personal trainer, man, I went through it. And anybody that tries to tell me that it's easy to just come and do what I do, it's not. And if somebody acts like it's easy, I take that to heart. Ain't nothing worse than somebody that finally get their body together and then they say that they can do what you do. Can't nobody do what you can do, especially if they ain't put forth no effort.
Right.
That's almost hurtful. And I kind of represent a lot of the trainers who didn't have social media. You know, they didn't have that shine of being able to shoot a video.
Roosevelt weight room trainers.
That's real throwback.
Got me one.
That's real throwback. So if somebody says something that, I can be a trainer, or that person's not in shape anymore, I don't respect them, I take that to heart.
Look at Rocky's trainer. He couldn't knock nobody out, but
so you got
come on, Mickey.
Yeah, but that's just how it is.
I can talk to him, bro. Yo, we gotta get to the sponsors. Hey, yo, Ease, bro, you gonna drop the sponsors, man? Gotta pay these bills, man. We get a slap out here, man, bro. And then you get a chance to do the last word.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
y'all actually won an award, the Boss Mag 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Y'all won for that media outlet thing.
Man, I don't even know.
Like, y'all won. He didn't even know he won.
What'd you say? Who was it?
You won the Boss Magazine 2009 Ohio Hip Hop Award. Congratulations.
What's up? I wanted to announce today that we do have a brand new film studio and video studio inside T-Shirt Kings, photography. So if you want to have a photo shoot or anything like that, we're having a special 30-minute shoot. As many pictures as you take, we just email them all to you. You don't have to worry about prints. You get your pictures back before you leave. And so everything that you've always imagined that a photo shoot or that video production should be, we're bringing it to you.
Yeah. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Peanut, a.k.a. Dash Resource, man. We about to run down these sponsors. We're going to get out of here. We're going to let my bro get the last word. Ease, you going to run down the sponsors real quick?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
Agnes All Natural Grill. You can go there for your lunch and your dinner. Then Sheikhs, for your breakfast and dinner. You know, Sheikhs, they'll be open for you.
Yeah.
Get you a little drink while you wait on your food.
That mimosa
But
hit
they have the
different.
best food going right now.
Yeah.
And you can also, if you get in an accident,
Yeah.
call Michael Wright. Get
Yeah.
that thing out your back seat. Throw it on like
Right.
Smedro say. Call Michael Wright.
10
And
racks to fix your back.
support
10
the
racks
baby
to fix your
Amazon.
back. 10 racks.
The baby Amazon at your door in 4 business days.
Yeah.
Shoparea.com.
Yeah.
Shoparea.com.
Yeah.
If you want to get a little light buzz or you want to get a big buzz, get
Yeah.
a couple bottles of wine
Big buzzing.
from Antoine Cunningham and your Kiara Wine. And if you want to, after you get buzzed and you're getting dinners and you're eating, you want to work that stuff off the next day, call the trainers at Fire Pit. And if you want to work on your weight and get your little activities up, call Kilo Lawson, Derek Wilson, and them at Fire Pit, y'all. And it's back to you, Peanut.
Word, man. So, man, also make sure y'all get with me to get some tickets. I think I only got one ticket left, but you can buy it from the actual website. So if you guys need to get help to get to the Her event, which will be February 12th. It is Valentine's Day weekend, man. It's going to be amazing. I'm hosting. It's going to be great. I'm in a building with all females, man. It's going to be it's going to be love all in the building, man. Ain't no way nobody going to fight at this event, right? Like, so
Act like they got some sense.
act like you got some sense, man.
Act
It's
like
like
you got some
it's
sense.
actually gonna be a fashion show, singing, dance, and it'll be so much different things in there, merch and things like that. But man, I definitely want to let my bro close out with some words of wisdom, King.
Man, listen, I appreciate you because, like I said, I stepped away from everything, and we was trying to put this together in October.
Yeah.
And it's a whole new year. And I'm thankful for that you still keeping my name buzzing out here in these streets. But anybody that's having doubt on what they don't know what they want to do in life, man, just try.
Yeah.
If y'all listen to this interview, I quit a lot of different things. I quit a lot, but I never, ever gave up on myself. Never. So whatever you going through, it can be done. You just got to believe it. You ain't always got to have the resources, but you got to put in the work. Once you start putting in the work, things will start falling in line. But you got to put the work in. At the end of the day, just make it happen. Just make it happen. One love, and I appreciate the love and support.
Word, man. Dash Resource, man. Self-stock not dope every Sunday, 8 o'clock p.m., man. My new book is coming out. I'm waiting on my publisher to give me the little go-ahead to drop the book, man. It's going to be the first hard copy I got. The last one was paperback. It's going to be a hard copy this time. I got together some of the dopest content to show you exactly how you're going to trade. Literally as easy as my first book was. Make sure you guys come down here and spend some money with my man Smed. He has the $250 get you 50 shirts. We got a t-shirt king 247.com. Go for your mouth. Diamond deals. Right now for the tax return season, man, it's lit, man. Diamond deals, man. Capitalist clothing, man. Cop some shirt, cop some merch. And again, it's Legendary People Podcast. Legendary people, legend.